Let it in, boy. That's freedom calling. Hello there everyone, welcome back to BrokeNbricks, and today I have another small mock to show you, and this is the Rhydonium Heist from Andor Season 2. So this is a continuation of my plan to have one of these 10 by 12 little scenes from every episode of Andor. And you probably haven't seen, but this is the one that I made for episode 3. This is the scene where Cassian meets Luthen for the first time. So these are kind of using the same format for the base, they're both the same size, and they both have Technic connections at the back so that you will be able to connect the scenes from all the episodes together. Obviously, I'm not making these in any particular order, jumping from Season 1 Episode 3 to Season 2 Episode 5. I'm just kind of making whatever I think I have the pieces for, or just whatever I feel like doing, to be honest. So let's go ahead and have a closer look at this scene from Season 2 Episode 5. So the base of the model is quite plain, but we have these grill tiles on the front just to make it look a bit more interesting than what I had come up with previously. Of course we do have the Technic holes, because I am really a big fan of Lego models that can connect to each other. The platform itself is quite plain, but I've used a combination of plates, tiles and jumper plates to give it a bit more of visual interest. And that gives it a nice texture instead of the whole thing just being completely plain. Over on the right we have the hose, which is being used to extract the Rhydonium from the tank. And this was quite annoying to deal with. I did have to cut a few sections off the hose. It did used to be longer when I first got the piece. And to connect it to the tank I did have to kind of cheat and use this little black assembly to hold up this end of the pipe. Then a couple of silver studs behind that to kind of continue the hose pattern. Then on the left side we just have a crate which isn't there in the show, but I didn't want the scene to feel too empty, so I just kind of threw that in there, and it doesn't look out of place or anything, so I think that's fine. Then we have the side of the Rhydonium fuel tank, which has a couple of brackets underneath, which is where it can attach to the base. And you can see that the hose lines up to this triangular road sign piece, which matches up quite well with what's in the show, so I really wanted to make sure to get that piece included. But that did make it quite difficult for attaching the hose, and again that is why I need this little black stand to hold it in place. So most of the front is flat, but on either side I did add some curved slope pieces to give the suggestion of the spherical shape. So on the front we have this big brown circle, which is where the Rhydonium extraction device is attached, and as you can see there are a lot of jumper plates on there to make sure that the extraction device is in the centre. And above that there's this little indented grey band with some vents on it, and then above that the black band continues, and I did try and match the pattern in the show with this little indentation, where we have the light grey coming through and also a couple of lights. And finally we have the centerpiece, which is the Rhydonium extraction device. And this thing has always really fascinated me. I think just like the sound design of it in the show is really satisfying to listen to as it's being prepared. It was quite difficult to figure out how to do the star-shaped design, but what I came up with was using these life ring pieces. So there's a couple of them stacked here on this bar piece. And then we have a bunch of these little clip and bracket assemblies which clip on to each one, so there's 5 of those on each of the rings. And it is super flimsy and really annoying to get aligned properly, but I'm pretty happy with how this ended up turning out. In the middle there's another bar piece going through, and this has one of the cupcake pieces in grey attached to it for the part in the centre. And off to the left we have this green tile, which is the screen to let Wilman know when the machine has been programmed properly. And then this whole build attaches onto the brown circle. And it is definitely too big relative to a minifigure, but working at the scale to get the shape of it right, I think this is probably the best that I could have done. So then we have Saw Gerrera, who is just straight from the Sith Infiltrator, but I removed his cape because he doesn't have it in this scene. So we could place Saw Gerrera over here, going on his little monologue about his childhood addiction to Rhydonium. And then we have Wilman, and This is just kind of a minifigure that I just threw together for this video. I think I could definitely do a much better job if I actually went and bought some special pieces for him. But for his breathing device, we have the goggles from the Bodhi headprint from Rogue One. And then we have one of those scuba mask pieces, which attaches at the neck. So this is definitely a figure that I would want to upgrade in the future. I'm not too happy with how this looks. But just for the purposes of showing you the completed MOC, I decided to just throw this together so that we can have him over here programming the Rhydonium device. So that is my completed model from Season 2, Episode 5 of Andor. Probably my favourite scene for Season 2. I absolutely love Saw's speech that he gives as Wilman is preparing the device. So I am really glad that I was able to put this together, and hopefully you enjoyed seeing what I have made. Anyway, that is going to be it from me for today, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Good, Anakin, good. Subscribe. Subscribe now.
It should.
Do it.